The girl in the well. The last thing Lily remembered before falling was the sound of her own laughter. She had been running through the meadow, chasing fireflies as the sun dipped below the horizon. The air smelled of fresh grass and damp earth, and the sky was streaked with gold and purple. She hadn't noticed the old well hidden beneath the overgrowth. The moment her foot caught on its crumbling edge, she tumbled forward, arms flailing, a scream tearing from her throat. The world spun, and then darkness. When she awoke, pain throbbed in her ankle, and her hands stung from the rough stone walls. Moonlight filtered down from the well's opening far above, a distant silver circle. She tried to stand, but her ankle buckled beneath her weight, trapped. "Help!" she shouted, her voice echoing against the damp stones. Only silence answered. She ran her fingers over the walls, searching for cracks or footholds. The stones were slick with moss. Her fingers trembled. How long would it take before someone noticed she was missing? Hours passed. The night grew colder, and the dampness crept into her bones. The only sounds were the occasional drip of water and the rustling of unseen creatures. Then she heard something new, a whispering, faint but persistent. Lily held her breath. The whispering was coming from below. She pressed her ear to the stone. The sound rose, soft and insidious, like voices carried by the wind, words she couldn't understand, but they slithered into her mind, curling around her thoughts like tendrils of smoke. A sudden chill swept through the well. Lily scrambled back, her pulse hammering. Something moved in the darkness beneath her, a ripple in the blackness, like shifting shadows. She squeezed her eyes shut, whispering, "It's just my imagination." A breath, warm and damp, stirred against her cheek. Her scream shot up the well, swallowed by the night. And above, the wind whispered back. Lily's scream faded into the night, swallowed by the endless dark. Her breath came in sharp, panicked gasps as she pressed herself against the damp stone wall, her fingers digging into the cracks. The whispering below grew louder, an eerie chorus of voices that didn't belong to anything she could see. Then, she felt a hand, cold and slimy, brushing against her ankle. She kicked, scrambling backward, but there was nowhere to go. Her injured ankle throbbed as she tried to climb, her nails scraping uselessly against the slick stone. The whispering turned into a low, guttural hum, vibrating through the well like something ancient awakening. The moonlight above dimmed as a shadow passed over the opening. "Lily?" The voice was familiar. She looked up, hope sparking in her chest. A face peered down, partially obscured by darkness. It was her older brother, Ben. "I'm here," she cried. "Ben, help me." His face was unreadable in the dim light. He didn't move. "Ben," she called again, her voice trembling. Then the whispering stopped. The air in the well shifted, growing unbearably still. The thing below, whatever it was, recoiled as if disturbed. The silence pressed against her ears, thick and suffocating. And then Ben smiled. It wasn't his smile. It was too wide, too sharp, stretching unnaturally across his face. His eyes, once warm and familiar, were hollow pits of shadow. "Lily," he said, his voice layered, as if multiple voices spoke at once, "you should not have come here." A hand, her brother's hand, but wrong, extended down toward her, fingers impossibly long. Lily screamed again, pressing herself against the wall. The thing in the darkness stirred, and then she felt herself being pulled downward. Lily clawed at the stones, her fingers scraping against the damp moss as an invisible force dragged her downward. The air in the well grew thick, heavy with the scent of wet earth and something rotten. "No!" she screamed, thrashing against the pole. "Let me go!" Above, the thing wearing Ben's face watched with that unnatural, stretching smile. "You should have stayed away," it whispered, its voice echoing strangely. Her foot slipped, and she tumbled deeper into the darkness. Cold fingers wrapped around her ankle, too many fingers, grasping, pulling. A grotesque, gurgling voice slithered up from below. "Not yet, not yet, but soon." Lily kicked wildly, her foot connecting with something soft and slick. The grip loosened just enough for her to scramble back. Gasping, she reached into her pocket, her fingers closing around the smooth metal of her firefly jar. It was small, the glass warm from the glow of the trapped insects inside. An idea sparked. With shaking hands, she lifted the jar high. The firefly's golden light flared, illuminating the walls and something else. The well wasn't empty. Shapes moved along the stone, shifting shadows with hollow eyes and mouths that never stopped whispering. Their limbs were long and twisted, their bodies half-formed from the dark itself. They recoiled from the firefly light, hissing like steam escaping a kettle. The thing below let out a guttural shriek, the pull on her legs weakened. Lily didn't hesitate. She smashed the jar against the stone, sending shards of glass and a burst of golden light through the well. The fireflies scattered, their glow pulsing wildly, filling every crevice. The creatures wailed, the thing below recoiled, its grip vanishing. Above, the imposter wearing Ben's face twisted, its smile faltering. No, it rasped, its voice unraveling into the night. Not yet. And then, it was gone. A new voice cut through the chaos. Lily, hold on. This time, when she looked up, it was really Ben, his face her real brother's face full of fear, not that terrible, grinning mask. A rope dropped down, and with shaking hands, she grabbed hold. He pulled her up, inch by inch, until she finally broke free of the well's grasp. The moment her feet hit solid ground, she collapsed, panting. Ben knelt beside her. What happened? I heard you screaming. Lily turned back to the well. The firefly's glow had faded, but the darkness below remained, still and watching. She grabbed Ben's hand and squeezed tight. We have to leave, now. As they stumbled away, the wind whispered behind them, carrying the same eerie words. Not yet.